Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to class. I hope you guys had a really good weekend. Please take out your homework assignments and put them on your desk. I'm going to go around and collect them right now. And please go ahead and get started on the journal assignment for today. The journal prompt is, have you ever let your impulses get the best of you? And what did that feel like? So go ahead and take about 5 minutes to write down some of your thoughts, and I will check in with you guys in about 2 minutes. So go ahead and get started, please. Okay, everyone, take a couple more minutes to write. We're gonna have a couple volunteers share. Really focus on what it felt like, because I think that's gonna be a big focus in our lesson today. Try writing for the full duration as well, guys. I know 5 minutes is a lot of time, but please try to keep your pens on your paper. So take a couple more minutes, please. Okay, take a couple more seconds to wrap up your final thoughts. And like I said, we're gonna have a couple people share, so make sure you have something written down. All right, would anyone like to volunteer to go first and share what they wrote down? Angela, thank you for volunteering. Go ahead. Okay, so you got a really big impulse last night to go eat ice cream, and you're saying that you felt immediately guilty right after. Yeah, I get that. my impulsive junk food is hot Cheetos. I really shouldn't be eating them, but I always tend to feel guilty after eating them as well. So I get you on that one. Would anyone else like to volunteer? Okay, Brian, go ahead. Thank you. Oh man, so you impulsively bought some really expensive shoes. And now you feel bad. You feel guilty as well? Yeah? Well, it's important to know that, you know, your actions have some consequences, so you're going to have to think about that when you're making big purchases like that, especially for some shoes, because I know they run really high on the market. So, all right. Would anyone else like to volunteer today? No? All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the agenda for today. I've already collected your homework. It's really great, by the way, and we did the journal entry. So now we're going to have a little intro to dark romanticism. I know last unit we did just romanticism, so I'm hoping that the segue is going to be a little smoother. And we're also going to be reading Young Goodman Brown by Nathaniel Hawthorne, who we also looked at previously in the last unit, but we're going to get a little more in depth with Hawthorne in this unit. We're also going to put you guys in groups, and you guys are going to fill out a graphic organizer that you're going to be turning in at the end of class. And we are also going to be having a discussion to talk about what you wrote down in your graphic organizer. I want to see how well you guys are doing with identifying themes, because we did that as well in the last unit, and we're just going to be working on developing that for today. For homework, we're going to have a writing activity that's going to be due next week. It's going to be more of a creative writing assignment, so you guys are going to have a little more freedom with it. But for now, let's go ahead and get into the intro. So, dark romanticism emerged in America in the 19th century as an opposing genre to romanticism and another genre called transcendentalism, which we won't get into too much, but just something important to know. So if you guys remember from last unit, romanticism focused a lot on the spiritual, on the divine, and on this idea of a perfect utopia, perfect society. So dark romanticism basically is the complete opposite of that. They believe that people were inherently bad and chose to sin, and there's a big focus on consequences as a result of people's actions, basically punishment as a result of sin. So I know that at least in a religious context, that sin and temptation usually corrupt a good person and make them evil, but dark romanticism does not have this belief, and even believes that even the best people cannot resist temptation, which is a key theme that we are going to be exploring in Young Goodman Brown. So I really want you guys to pay attention to every aspect of the story and really do some deep analysis in there. So the standard for today and for the unit is to determine a theme or central idea of a text and analyze in detail its development over the course of the text, including how it emerges and is shaped and refined by specific details, and we are going to provide an objective summary of the text. So a couple things to think about are what the general mood is by the end of the beginning of the text. I'm going to read the first couple of pages with you guys to get you guys settled in a little bit. And what is the dialogue telling you so far? So Young Goodman Brown has a wife who is going to be she is important to the text, but not to like the overarching theme. So I really want you guys to look about the importance of her in the story. And how is Hawthorne setting up the story thematically? I know I obviously talked about sin and temptation as a really big theme already, but are there any other themes that you can see in the beginning of the text? Is there any symbolism that is pointing you in the right direction? So we're gonna go ahead and pull that out. I'm gonna pass the papers out to you right now, and we're gonna go ahead and get started with our reading. So